Well, hello everybody and welcome to Steelbook Obsessed. My name is Jake and today we're going to talk about all of the Steelbook releases to come out in the month of May. There are 12. Not that many, but still double digit. A nice healthy amount, I would say, because we've had months where we've had 30 plus Steelbooks in a month. This time, you can breathe a little bit. I have a stack of some of the Steelbooks that have been released so far this month right here, since I'm doing it a little bit later in the month. Normally, I like to do these the first Monday of each month, but in May and June, my kids kind of take over my schedule with all their sporting events. So I got to it when I could, and I was shocked that I got to it right here. But let's show off the Steelbooks that I have first, and then we'll go over the ones that I don't have next. Starting with the Steelbook for Captain America, Brave New World. I guess I can take the J card off of here. I had a chance to watch this movie. I actually did a review for this movie on my YouTube channel, the whole 4K physical media release. It's an if you like the movie, you'll like this release, but I thought this was the weakest out of the Captain America franchise, and I love the Captain America franchise so much. I love the spine, though. I think the spine looks so sharp, how blue and white it looks, and even like the nice Ultra HD tab right there is all red out. I don't know. I like it. The back, a little less to be desired here with the shield and whatnot. Not much you can do there. The front is even a little bit lackadaisical for me. You got Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford. You got the Falcon flying over there. It's okay. It's okay. It's nothing crazy. On the inside, I love the discs. I love disc artwork, and Disney always does a great job with the disc artwork. And on the inside artwork, you have Anthony Mackie flying high in the sky as the new Cap. Now we will go over to the big tier list right here. All 12 releases are right here. Here's my thumbnail picture that I used for the YouTube video. I am thinking I'm just going to put this smack dab in the good right now. They could have done a lot better. They also could have done worse. I mean, the reason why this is so plain on the back is because there are other releases, Steelbook wise, in the Captain America franchise that just went with the shield, so they're matching that themality. I don't know. I could have went with or without this back. I wish that there was a little bit more visually going on this release, but still nothing terrible. The disc artwork, brownie points, inside artwork, not bad. It's all just a not bad. It's passable. It's very passable. But let's go to another one, a Steelbook that I have not talked about yet here on the channel, and that Steelbook, folks, is for a show I haven't watched, but it's streaming content coming to physical media, which I always absolutely love. We have Masters of the Universe, Revelation and Revolution. It's an animated series. There are two animated shows in Masters of the Universe franchise come to life from the creative mind of Kevin Smith. This kind of flew way under my radar, but I feel like the Steelbook is very, very nice looking. So I'm going to showcase this off right here. The front cover, it looks sharp. Like, even though I'm not a Masters of the Universe fan at all in the slightest, I still think this sucker looks very, very nice. We open it up right here. Here's the front and back. Again, this is just eye-popping like crazy. I absolutely love the way that this Steelbook looks. A little samey on the front and back, but that's because there's two different shows. And if I'm not mistaken, they used both of their posters, Revolution, Revelation, that type of deal right here. On the inside, you have a 3-disc set. You have Revelation, disc 1 and 2, and Revolution, if I remember correctly, is right there. I don't know what's on the inside of these Steelbooks. Ooh, you got a beefy He-Man. You got a beefy He-Man right there. Always like to see that. And then I'm assuming if we take the discs out of the other one, we're going to have Mr. Skeletor right there. Love me some Skeletor, even though I know nothing about the Masters of the Universe franchise whatsoever. I think it's a very solid Steelbook release. I think Mill Creek, more often than not, knocks their Steelbooks out of the park, and they just don't make enough of them. Less than 10 a year. I would say around like the 5 to 8 mark every year. Last year, they came out with one of my favorite Steelbook releases of that year with Walk Hard. I want to say it was my third favorite Steelbook of the year. That being said, like, this is another super solid release from Mill Creek. I wish that there was some disc artwork, but I'm not really gonna knock it points for that either. I think that this Masters of the Universe Steelbook is gonna go to the very good camp right here. Could have been a little bit better on the actual Steelbook artwork, to be a little bit different on the front and back cover. Still really like it. Still a stunning release. If you're a fan of those animated shows, I would recommend picking that Steelbook up. I want to say it's on Amazon and Walmart. All of the links that I could find to Amazon are in the description below. So if you want to click them, it'll help the channel out a little bit. I'll get a little change back that I can help buy more physical media to review for you, that type of fun stuff. But I still have a big stack of Steelbooks to go over. We also have a few comments here. Let's go over those. As long as it's better than Captain Marvel. I don't know if Captain America Brave New World is better than Captain Marvel. I am not sure there at all. We also have a lot of people over on the TikTok side of things, which I joined live. As someone who is slowly starting to collect Steelbooks, what do you do with the J cards? Personally, I keep the J cards, especially when I don't put them in protective covers. It gives the Steelbook a little bit of a protection against scratches. Plenty of Captain Marvel at Bull Moose in New Hampshire. I bet, man. How's it going, Scottish Geek guy? Yeah, Brave New World wasn't great, but had to get it for the MCU Steelbook wall. Yeah, isn't that the thing? Like, don't you feel obligated at this point to buy some Marvel Steelbooks? I remember back in the beginning, back in the heyday, there were a lot of amazing Marvel releases for movies that I absolutely loved. And like going to Best Buy opening day, new release Tuesday, going there, combing through the stack to see which Steelbook is the most pristine, no dings or anything wrong with it. Just adds to the collection. It was an experience. Now you just click a button and get it shipped to your house, and it's not the same. Doesn't hit the same, unfortunately. I don't think I have another Marvel, but I do have a Lionsgate Steelbook to talk about. This is a pretty cool one. Here is one for the Crazies Lionsgate Limited exclusive Steelbook right here. This is one of like 20 films ever to be filmed in my home state of Iowa, which is always nice. What I also love about these Lionsgate Steelbooks is that they are putting on new special features, new extras exclusive to these releases right here. This one has a new commentary, a new establishing shot with the director, sculpting the horror of the Crazies, alternate ending. Love seeing that stuff. What I also love is the artwork that Lionsgate puts on their releases. I want to say this artwork was done by Attila Sarska, if I remember correctly. It's great. I mean, this sucker looks absolutely breathtaking. In my opinion, I love how simplistic it is. I just watched this movie on Blu-ray about 6 months ago or so, and I thought it was fine. I liked the kills in the movie more than I actually did the movie itself. There's a couple of memorable scenes, one in a hospital, one in a car wash. Those parts are very, very fun. The disc artwork, though, is probably my favorite in this entire release. I love the way those absolutely pop off of the disc artwork. And it's two different scenes that are nowhere on the Steelbook itself. It just looks very, very nice. Nice and glossy all over the place on these Lionsgate Steelbooks. You got the first pressing on the inside. If I can showcase that off, I don't know if I can, or there's a little bit of it flashing right there. Overall, I think this is so solid. It's better to me than the Masters of the Universe Steelbook for sure. But if we go over to the tier list, I'm going to put the Crazies. I'm going to put it at amazing, folks. I really appreciate the artistry that went together. Thank you for sending the heart over on TikTok. I 1000% appreciate it. The heart me, Ava. Thank you very much. And yeah, I love Lionsgate Limited, all of the cool stuff that they're doing over there. I cannot wait to see what other stuff they have coming down the pipeline. But I do have another Lionsgate Limited Steelbook in my hands. So we might as well talk about it, huh? Let's stop sharing that screen and go over to Kick-Ass, baby. Here is Kick-Ass, a movie that I absolutely love, even though I haven't seen it in a very, very long time. I also have, where to go? Back here. I have this Steelbook right here. This Steelbook was a Best Buy exclusive. As you can see, Lionsgate Limited kind of did what they did with Reservoir Dogs and just changed up the color scheme. Instead of the white background, it's a black background. You might think that's all they did, but they did a little bit something else. If you take the old school Steelbook out of its slipcover. The Steelbook looks exactly the same as it does with the slipcover. If you take the black Steelbook, the new Lionsgate Limited Steelbook, their masks actually come off and you unmask the heroes, the Holy Trinity in the Kick-Ass universe with Hit Girl, Big Daddy, and Kick-Ass. I like this movie. I like how there's another reason for me to own both copies of this Steelbook in my collection. I also like how there's new special features again in this Steelbook. I have not had a chance to check this one out, unfortunately, but there is a Steelbook, or there's a Lionsgate Limited exclusive special feature called Physical Media Kicks Ass. Of course it does. That was made for me to watch. There's also Still Kicking Ass, pure cinematic fun, the work of art. I can't wait. I can't wait to pop the sucker in and watch again. It's probably been 4 or 5 years since I've seen Kick-Ass. Here's the inside artwork with the 4K as well. I like this release quite a bit, and as you can see, the masks are just on the slipcover here. Very, very cool release from Lionsgate. A little bit more on the samey side because I already have that Steelbook in the collection, but still very cool if you don't own this movie at all. I am going to put this Kick-Ass release at a very good. I like the creativity that they just put in here. Thank you for gifting on the TikTok side of things. Stranger Things 2012. Appreciate that as well. And yeah, Kick-Ass, I think, is right up there with this Masters of the Universe Steelbook. Very, very solid release altogether. Let's continue to go. I've got 3 more Steelbooks in my hand that I can talk about and show you in person. We have Eli in the chat. How's it going, Eli? Next up, we have Mickey 17. I want to do a full review for this movie. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it. Like I said at the beginning of this, sports have taken over my life for the next month, the next 4 weeks. It's crazy. Plus graduation from school, all that type of stuff. I will say I highly recommend this release for Mickey 17. One of my favorite 4K transfers of the entire year so far. I really enjoy this. I thought the movie was okay. I gave it a 3.5. Thank you for the hearts over there on TikTok. And overall, I think if you're a fan of Mickey 17, you should own this because it looks phenomenal. There's a lot of cool special features on this release. On the inside, you got Mickey 18 and Mickey 17. There's some very faint artwork on the discs, which is kind of cool. It's cool for Warner Brothers to throw a little something in there. Overall, though, I would say this Steelbook, I don't know how you market Mickey 17 unless you would put some spoilerish things in this Steelbook. This is a little samey. Like, I know that they're kind of going for the amount of different clones of Mickey 17, of Mickey on here. I don't know if the Steelbook is 1,000% doing it for me, but the 4K itself, I highly recommend you add to your collection if you are a fan of Mickey 17. Let's go to the tier list one more time. Unfortunately, I'm gonna do Mickey 17 as a good. It's a fine looking Steelbook, but nothing that really knocks it out of the park for me for this physical media release. Unfortunately, it's not bad enough to go into like the not great section, but it's not going any higher than the good. I can tell you that right now. But next up, we have 2 more Steelbooks to talk about. 2 Steelbooks that technically aren't out yet. Very, very fun to showcase off, and both of which are Sony titles. The first one, John Carpenter's Starman, y'all. Heck yes, I love this movie. I love it. I watched it for the first time when I watched every single movie in John Carpenter's catalog 5 years ago now. Has it been 5 years ago? John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors, so I wanted to make sure that I watched every single edition, every single movie that this man made. And Starman is like one of the oddities in his catalog because it's a very wholesome film. There's not a lot of darkness in the movie. There's not a lot of dread. It's just an alien that crash lands and they go on a road trip. Jeff Bridges plays the alien. Karen Allen plays Karen Allen, and it's great. It's just a solid feel-good film, which I absolutely love. The Steelbook as well looks very, very sharp, nice and glossy. Once again, this is the same 4K transfer that came out in the Columbia Classics Volume 4 release, if I remember correctly. But those didn't have disc artwork, and these do have disc artwork, and I absolutely love to see that. Since I'm showcasing this off, I will take both of the discs out and just show some more Karen Allen and Jeff Bridges love. Love to see that right there. If you're a fan of John Carpenter, I would highly recommend this. If you're a fan of like 80s, it's kind of like an 80s comedy. There's some drama, some comedy to be had here. I think this is a very hidden gem in the John Carpenter catalog. Highly recommend it. I want to say this was either my 7th or 8th favorite John Carpenter film out of his entire filmography. Good stuff. For me, Starman is good. Steelbook wise, I think it's solid. I think every single ounce of this release is full of color and picture. That goes a long way for me. I'm going to put this in the very good department. It did not disappoint. I enjoy it quite a bit. And yeah, very happy to add this one to the collection as well. There's one more Steelbook, though, that I have to show off. And then we'll go to a whole bunch of pictures online because that's all that we have to go off of when we're buying our Steelbooks these days, which sucks. But right now I can show you A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. I've never seen A Knight's Tale. Steven over on TikTok asks for my 5 favorite Steelbooks that I own. That list changes all the freaking time. Speaking of John Carpenter, one of mine would be my Mondo edition of The Thing. My God, there's so many. There's so many. I also like, I'm trying to just look around. Which ones can I show you right now? This makes very good content, does it not? I like this one. Let's just grab it. I like this edition of The Mist. Very, very good. I don't know if it's top 5 material. I would have to do a lot of thinking if I wanted to go over what my favorite Steelbooks in my collection are. My tastes change all the freaking time too. I also love a 4-disc set with the divider. You got a 4K and Blu-ray for the black and white edition, 4K and Blu-ray for the color edition. Just a nice solid release here. The Mist, again, another Lionsgate. Lionsgate, more often than not, knocks it out of the park. But I digress. Let's go on. A Knight's Tale. Let's jump back into this sucker. Again, never seen it. My best friend's sister loved this movie. Her whole gaggle of friends loved this movie. So I feel like I've seen bits and pieces of it all over the place. But then again, that was like 20 years ago now. So I just need to give this movie a proper watch because I've heard people like this movie. I like Heath Ledger, so I don't know why I wouldn't watch it. I like Alan Tudyk right here. I like the guy who played Fred Flintstone in Viva Rock Vegas right here. And that's about everybody. I know that actress, but I can't remember what the heck she's from. Rules of Engagement? Is that it? The Laws of Attraction? Rules of Engagement? Laws of Attraction? I can't remember what the name of the movie is. So obviously, I don't like her as much as I might be putting on. But if you like the movie, let me know in the comments why you do like the movie. There is some javelin scenes right here. Put the discs back. It's a solid release once again. Not blowing my skirt up at all, but not insulting me for spending the money either. If we go over to the presets and share the screen and go to the tier list, I am going to put, where is it? Knight's Tale. There we go. A Knight's Tale, borderline good to very good. I'm going to go here. I think it's a solid release, but I would have done a couple of things. It just doesn't stand out as much. I also love a glossy steelbook over just a matte finish steelbook. That is a matte finish steelbook. Personally, I would put this at just a good. Let's slide this over. And as you can see, I had over half of the steelbook releases that came out this month. Actually, I do have this one too. Should I go get that? I should go get that. It's in the set right there. Yeah, let me go grab the Lord of the Rings one because it's a new release, but only because it got re-released on its own separately. I'm trying not to spill everything. My kids and I are actually, oh god, I spilled something. Told you I would. Get out of there. There we go. Okay. I have this Lord of the Rings release. My kids and I are watching the trilogy right now. This is from the box set. Here's Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, all on its own. When I got this release in my collection, this was like a holy grail piece of mine because the trilogy steelbook box set, every ounce of it, I absolutely love. I also love the way the steelbook looks on its own. So if you don't have the big beefy box set, the trilogy library case, I think the steelbook is super solid on its own. I love the way that this looks right here. You also have a 3-disc set here with the theatrical and the extended. and the extended. Okay. But I want to say there's 3 4K. Yeah, there's 3 4K discs in here. You have 1 for the theatrical, and then you have 2 for the extended. And we just watched The Fellowship of the Ring, and it's weird having half the movie on 1 disc and then just getting cut to black and being told to put in disc 2. That is such a odd experience, but one that I love in physical media, and it looks amazing. It looks so stunningly good. And I'd never seen the extended editions before. I'd only seen the theatrical editions. Extended editions, watching it with my family is an absolute blast. This movie's an absolute blast. I love the way the Steelbook looks. On the inside here, you have a nice one of like the battle, preparing for battle scenes here at the 2 towers. I think this Steelbook is another solid one, folks. Let's go over to the presets, to share the screen, to my tier list. And for this release right here, I am going to put the 2 towers at a very good. I think it's a very, very solid release. I don't know if this re-release comes with a 3-disc 4K set. I don't know that for a fact. It might just come with one or the other. In fact, I should look that up. I'll look that up at the very end. How about that? I'll look that up at the very, very end. But let's stop sharing this. We have a couple new comments. Hey, Last Movie Stand. How's it going, man? A Knight's Tale is so good. And she's from 40 Days and 40 Nights. That's where I know her from. I watched 40 Days and 40 Nights so much on Stars. My parents had, that's the only premium movie service they had. It was the cheapest one, I'm assuming. And it came with a bunch of different channels. 40 Days and 40 Nights was on there all the time. I've probably seen that movie at least 20 times. Good movie. That is exactly where I know her from. Thank you very much. Knight's Tale is so good with the theme and the music that goes with it. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you very much, Van Gool. Over on the TikTok side of things, do you have the Assassination for Jesse James or the Coward Robert Ford? I don't think I do. God, it's been a very long time since I've even seen that movie when it came out. It's like 3 hours long. I don't remember liking that movie that much. But, you know, I should go down for a rewatch for that movie for sure. But now let's go to the movies that I don't have in the collection. I put that in the very good. Okay, I'm losing my mind here a little bit. Let's do a preset. Let's share the screen over on Amazon here. We have another Lionsgate movie, folks. We have Law Abiding Citizen, Amazon exclusive 4K. I kind of like how Lionsgate is switching it up for doing half on Amazon, half on Lionsgate Limited, and pretty much flipping the bird to Walmart. Not sure why they're doing that. In October, they might partner with Bloody Disgusting again, do a whole line of their horror films. Who the heck knows? I do kind of like the watercolor aesthetic that they're going with on this, or charcoal almost. I can see some people not liking this. I love the prison bars on the slipcover sliding off to just give a very basic overtone picture here. This is why I love Steelbooks. Steelbooks pop because they can showcase art like no other type of physical media can. There's a slipcover right here. Another shot of the slipcover. We got a shot of the back. It's not a Lionsgate Limited exclusive, so there's probably no new special features on this sucker. And here's a shot of the inside. I love the disc artwork on this release as well. We got the Daddy bracelet and Lady Justice right there. On the inside, we have a bit of a negotiation table in prison aspect over here. I think it's a very solid release. I think this is another very solid release over from our good friends at Lionsgate. For me, I don't know if you hear, I'm a little bit stuffy. Allergies are kicking my butt today. They really are. Law-abiding citizen, I think it's at a very good status. There's a lot of very goods this month. There might not be a lot of releases, but so far we haven't hit any not good ones. They're all pretty dang solid, and that's good in my book. I don't know about you, but that's good in my book. We have 3 more Steelbooks to share. This is going very fast. How long have we been live? Not even half an hour. This is going to be a fast one, folks. In and out. Nothing wrong with that. Let's go and look up a Scream Factory or a Shout Studios release. This time, it's with Wanted. Let's zoom into this one. Jesus, that's very zoom in. Slow-mo bullet time zoom in for Wanted. I like Wanted. I don't love Wanted. I also haven't seen Wanted in about a decade. So I'm not sure what I think about the movie anymore. What is for sure is that this Steelbook is kind of hot garbage. I don't like the artwork style that they're going with here. For me, it's a swing and a miss. I know that they're kind of going through different scenarios in the movie. For me, this is kind of a hot mess. There's a lot of very cool imagery in Wanted, and the bullet is something that I remember, but not having anything else, no characters from the movie on here, for me is a big, big mistake. I would have been somebody who would have thought about picking this 4K upgrade up, but this Steelbook does not make, like, that looks, no, this might be a hot take. Art is subjective. I don't like this. I don't like this whatsoever. Let's stop sharing the screen. Let's go back to, oops, wrong one. I clicked the wrong one. Here we go. Preset, share screen, tier list. For me, for me, it's a not good Steelbook. I don't think it looks the best at all. Wish I could say a little bit differently, but unfortunately I cannot. So not good status. We finally get our first one. Will we have back-to-back not goods? There's only 2 Steelbooks left, and the next release that I'm going to do is one that I have really never heard of before, because it's anime, y'all. You know how I am with anime. I know nothing about the genre at all. This one is called The Colors Within. Sure, here's a nice little zoom in, even more zoom in. I kind of like the super zoom in on this. You get more detailed looks at things. You get, some anime people. You get some planets, a guitar, some records. I don't know anything about this movie. We can kind of look. I want to zoom out. I guess you can't zoom out. Typical anime stuff, except you got a rocker chick. That's kind of fun. For me, the Steelbook looks nice. I don't know what the back looks like. I don't know what the inside looks like. I looked all over online. Could not find that whatsoever. A bit of a bummer, if I do say so myself. I'm going to stop sharing this. Not knowing anything else about the material, about what the artwork on the Steelbook looks like, I'm not mad at the Steelbook. I'm not mad at all about the Steelbook. But for me personally, this one's going in the good. I think it's better than Wanted. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's slab in the middle for me. That's where, I forgot what the heck it's called. That is where The Colors Within goes for me. But now, we only have one more Steelbook. And this might be the biggest Steelbook release of the month for a lot of people. I know it's sold out pretty much everywhere, which is kind of crazy. And I didn't know this movie had that big of fan base, which is kind of crazy. Kingdom of Heaven. I know there's like a theatrical cut and a director's cut. I want to say the Steelbook is just the director's cut. Let me see if I can get some pictures for you. I don't have this one pulled up yet. Now I do, though. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. I clicked on the picture and it says it's sold out on Orbit DVD, so it's not even showing me the picture that I can look at. Okay. We're going to have to just go on the good old Googles and go to Kingdom of Heaven right here. Here are all of the Steelbook looks. Here we go. We have Kingdom of Heaven, Orbit DVD. I have heard from a very knowledgeable source that the mask on Kingdom of Heaven is embossed or debossed in places. I want to say the eyeballs and the lips are debossed, which is good. I always am a fan of embossing and debossing on my releases. So, yeah, that's a plus in my opinion. The back just being a sword. The inside looks very, very cool. There's a bigger one of the inside. That reminds me a lot of the poster artwork. Every single disc has artwork on it. Again, also goes a long way for me. The mask is cool. I wish that there was more embossing and debossing on the actual face and not just the eyeballs, but at least there's some, so I can't complain too much about that. Other than that, I want to say those are all the images that we really need. There's a bigger one. And yeah, it is the director's cut only from what it looks like. Limited edition 3-disc set. I can't read what that says. What does that say? Is there a better shot of the J card here? There is not, unfortunately. But that's okay. We got the gist of the Steelbook, did we not? Let's go back to the preset, share the screen, tier list. The embossing on the mask does a lot for me. This is in the very good section, personally, for me. I think it's very solid. The inside's great. Disc artwork is great. The only negative I have is the sword on the back. Little generic feeling. But maybe once I watch the movie, I'll like that a little bit more. But those are all the Steelbooks that came out in May. Now it's time to do a little bit of tiering, like going from best to least best on this. My favorite Steelbook release of the month is the Crazies. I think artwork from front to back looks absolutely solid. Very good Steelbooks. Where can we go from here? Where can we go from here? None really match my enthusiasm as the Crazies did. I would do Kick-Ass, but it's kind of a re-release. Lord of the Rings is a re-release. I would probably go Masters of the Universe. I would then probably go Law Abiding Citizen. I would then probably go Kick-Ass. I would then go Lord of the Rings, Starman, Kingdom of Heaven. Going on to the goods, I would say the best of the good would probably be A Knight's Tale for sure. Move that over there. I'm going to put Captain America right here, Mickey 17 next. The Colors Within last because I don't know what a lot of it looks like. And then Wanted is dead last. But that is how I rank this month from best to least best. Sorry about it being so late out there, everybody. Thanks for hopping on today. This was very spur of the moment. My kid's softball game got canceled because of rain. So I'm like, oh, I can actually do something tonight. Let's go. Again, very, very quick, half an hour stream here. A lot of haze. You're so disappointed in Kingdom of Heaven isn't coming out with a theatrical cut. Yeah, if you're going to give us a certain cut, at least include every single cut that's been released. I don't know why they don't do that, unfortunately. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. I was just looking at it. Kingpin, the Kino Lorber 4K. At least that includes both, even though they aren't on 4K. At least you get the theatrical and the extended on Blu-ray. Again, just give us the option. That's all we can really ask for. But thank you very much for popping in here today. Very, very late. Hopefully I have a video out this week on a new release roundup number 31. I have other things that I'm editing. And since you're watching this live, I can talk about, let's talk about this for a little bit. It has finally been announced from Umbrella that they are releasing a 4K of the movie Freaked. And I am working on special features for the movie Freaked. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that nuts? I don't even know if I can talk about that yet. It's not 1,000% signed that what I'm making is going to be put on this release, but that's what I'm shooting for with Umbrella. Very cool. The special feature that I'm working on is cult films and physical media. I thought that was a cool flow through because Freaked has been a very long time since I've watched the movie, but I do know that it has a very hardcore fan base. And I think a lot of that is because of the DVDs that got released of it, of the Blu-ray that is very out of print and going for a lot of crazy money. So that's why I haven't been putting out a lot of content. I've been working on that release, that special feature, to actually have a special feature that I've made, pressed on a disc, put out to the public, especially for a release that I feel like a lot of people are going to go crazy for. Like it's cool. It's cool. That was on my bucket list. That's only one movie special feature that I'm working on. I'm working on a lot right now. That's the only one I can talk about because that's the only one that's been announced. Isn't that crazy? I love being able to kind of work behind the scenes with a company that I love to help put out the best content I personally can and make their releases better. I love it. It's great. I love over here, Mr. Kurt Russell. Yes, we talked about some John Carpenter films. I found that in a, again, that has to do with my cult films and physical media. The Thing is one of those. I opened up, this mirroring is confusing me like crazy. I opened up a big thing for John Carpenter's The Thing. That was one of the pictures. It's going up with a whole bunch of like the mustached men over here. I kind of stop with the fingers. I really do. But I'm excited. Hopefully I make the final cut. I might not even make the final cut. I know I've made the final cut on one release. This one, I'm hoping once it gets all the way done, they like, and if they like, it'll be on there, and that's very, very cool. Congrats. Yeah, thank you very much, Patrick. Congrats. It's been a big goal of mine. Yes, I've been trying to do this I've been wanting to do it forever. I've been trying to throw feelers out there for probably a year and a half, 2 years. And once this release actually comes out, once I have a release that comes out with physical media on it, I'll probably do either a live stream or a video just talking about my experience, getting a little bit of a curtain reveal or unveiling behind the scenes of how that stuff works out. Because once you get in the flow of things, once you're in the river with the company, it's pretty laid back. It's kind of nice that way. But that's another live stream for another day. If you stayed all the way to the end, you got that nice little juicy tidbit of stuff. So yeah, that's fun. But that's really all I had. Now I'm just waxing poetic. I should probably get on the treadmill and watch a movie while that goes down. Thank you everybody for hopping on today, and until next time, I'll see you.